Hello friends, do you love tea and natural wellness products as much as I do? I've partnered with Positively Tea and Positively Botanicals, and I can honestly say I drink their organic loose leaf tea almost every day, and I love it. From organic teas to natural remedies, they offer high-quality products that support a healthy, mindful lifestyle. When you shop through my affiliate link, you not only discover amazing products for yourself, but you also help support the podcast. Visit the link in the show notes to explore their selections today. And for you coffee lovers, they have you covered as well. Treat yourself, support the show, and keep connecting with the natural world. Hello friends, and welcome to the Forest Connection, where we connect with nature. I'm Paul, and I'd like to wish you Pura Vida. If you've never heard that term before, that's all right. I just started hearing it this past year. Not here in the States. You see, I went to Costa Rica, and wherever I went in Costa Rica, everyone was wishing everyone else Pura Vida. It was used as a greeting, a welcome, a goodbye. Sometimes it was used to say, how are you? Or everything's great, everything's fantastic, or you're welcome. Sometimes they used it to say it's okay, sometimes no problem. Now you're talking Costa Rica, it's a Spanish-speaking country, and Pura Vida is a Spanish phrase that translates to pure life. But it's actually used in Costa Rica in all these versatile ways as a greeting, a farewell, an expression of a positive lifestyle. Signs everywhere. Live the Pura Vida life, the pure life. It signifies contentment, optimism, and appreciating life's simple things, conveying a no worries or everything's good attitude in many situations. The only other time I've come across a kind of an all-in pure life sort of saying was when I was a very young kid and my mother took me and my brother to Hawaii, and there everyone was saying hang loose, and they had this really funny thing they did with their hand. So hang loose is kind of the same thing in Hawaii as Pura Vida in Costa Rica, the pure life. Just living a life of ease, living with no worries. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, is how to live the pure life or the Pura Vida life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Now, as I said, Pura Vida can be a greeting or a farewell. It can be, are you doing well? Is it okay? No problem. You're welcome. Thank you. It's used in so many ways. But it's not so much the term Pura Vida and what it means in a vocal way. It's more of the philosophy of it. It's a way of life. It's much beyond a simple phrase. The philosophy actually encourages living with a positive outlook and focusing on gratitude for what one has. Not for what they don't have, but for what they have. You may not have a lot. You may live in the dumpiest house in town, but it doesn't matter. You can still be thankful that you have that house. Some people may not have a house. They're the ones that have to worry. No, they live the same way. They're happy they're alive. They're happy they can have food and live to the next day. They're happy that they can help someone else. And when we were in Costa Rica, my wife and I, we saw this pretty much wherever we went, where everyone just was appreciative of what they had. And they were appreciative of everyone else and what they had. I don't know how many times people said thank you to me, even when I wasn't doing anything other than buying in their store, supporting their store, or anything that they felt was appreciative, that they appreciated, and they would say thank you. Or Pura Vida. Every time we went to a restaurant and we left that restaurant, they would be like, Pura Vida. I mean, we went to this one small restaurant bar. It was more of a bar. We went there in the evening the one night just to have a couple of drinks and check out the town we were staying in. And this place was just so appreciative that we were there. I mean, there weren't a lot of people there. It was a rather small place off on one of the side streets, and they were just thankful that the two of us were there with the other maybe 6 other people, and they kept coming over, making sure everything was all right, and they chatted with us, and we chatted with them, and we tried to speak as much Spanish as we could, although they knew we weren't very good at it, and that was all right. The guy didn't look down on us because we didn't know their language very fluently. Instead, he actually helped us. Yeah, he's like, oh no, you say this instead of, it's like, okay, we really screwed up that word. But it didn't matter to them. They were just appreciative of everything. They were thankful of what they had. So it's more of the philosophy of Pura Vida that I really appreciated when we were there, rather than it being just a greeting. And it really caught on because I found we were saying it a lot to other people as well. And I want to stress that this Pura Vida, it's not a forced positivity. It's not it's not pretending everything is fine. It's actually a belief. It's choosing to have this positivity. It's choosing ease, even if tension is available. It's meeting life without resistance. It's not forced. It is a lifestyle. They have learned in Costa Rica to live this way, to know this way, to feel this way. It's become part of them. It's not like us in the States. Yeah, everything is multitasking. Everything is constantly on the move, trying to get everything done, trying to do this and that. And it's such a busy life. And I don't know, I run into a lot of people, including myself sometimes, where it's like, oh, I don't have time to do that because I'm so busy with all these other things. Pura Vida. Just stop multitasking. Just start to realize that there's more to life than rushing around. Just relax. Be yourself. Let nature come into you and your life. But that's not the way we do it in the U.S. We should. And we should adopt this Pura Vida mentality, this Pura Vida positivity, this Pura Vida lifestyle, trying to be one with everything around you, with nature, with other people, that connectivity. So that's what this is all about, is living the Pura Vida lifestyle. You wouldn't believe how relaxed these people are, and they're healthy. I've actually read several accounts. So as I was researching our vacation, I read so many accounts of people moving there, of Americans, of Europeans moving to Costa Rica for health reasons. And these are true stories where people were going there, and just because of where it is, the clean air, the nature all around them, and this relaxed Pura Vida lifestyle, a lot of their chronic ailments, stresses, anxieties, even some physical ailments were clearing up. And these people had tried all kinds of treatments, all kinds of things to relax and they wanted to get off the medications. Because they didn't work. They wanted to find a way. And they heard about how Costa Rica, basically it does that. It cures. And so they went there. And sure enough, they became better. And they ended up staying there. So I read several stories about this. And these are just everyday people. It's not some miracle drug or anything. It's just everyday people that decided to make a lifestyle change. And you can't do that here in the States, not easily. I mean, you can do it, but not easily because of, basically the lifestyle of the United States. And it's not just our country, it's other countries, I'm sure, too. But they went to Costa Rica. The lifestyle there, everything was very relaxed. Now, I also, in my research, I read, it's like, make sure you have patience, which is something us Americans don't seem to have. I know I never used to when I was younger. I've learned it. I've learned to be more relaxed about things, to be more easygoing about things. But it took a lot for me to get to that point. And in Costa Rica, I kept reading, you have to get that mentality. Now, I think in the touristy areas, it seemed to me like when we went out someplace to a restaurant or wherever we went, people were very accommodating. I think they knew we were Americans right away. And so they were very accommodating. They made sure that we got our meal right away. But when we got further out of the touristy areas, which is where my wife and I like to go, is away from the touristy areas. And when we got out there, we noticed it was a more laid-back, relaxed atmosphere. We went to this one small expat community, and we stayed there for, I think it was like 10 days. We had a nice Airbnb, very relaxing. And when we went down into the, I'm doing air quotes here, village, there really was no town center. But there was this one area along the road where there was like a little plaza. We went down there to this little coffee shop. And we sat there and we ordered our drinks, our tea, and a small little lunch. And it took quite a while for it to get there. But it didn't really matter. We were talking with the other people there. We were just enjoying the nature sounds around us. Everything was so relaxed. And our food came and it was delicious. So everything is really laid back. And we were warned about that. Expect to wait when you're there because it takes a while. They have this laid back, relaxed atmosphere. And it was all right for me. It was all right for my wife. We were actually enjoying it. And the more we were there in the country, we went to 3 different locations, and all 3 were pretty much the same. The last one, a little bit different, but it was a very touristy area. So that's why I think it was a little bit different, but mostly it was still that attitude, that laid-back attitude. I mean, we noticed in everyday human behavior with the locals or even the expats that went there who have melded into this lifestyle, the conversations, they really weren't rushed. Everything was just relaxed. You got to the point when you got to the point. Time was very flexible rather than rigid. I mean, they were like, well, if you get here a little bit late, don't worry about it. If we'll accommodate you. Mistakes, I mean, they were treated lightly, not harshly. Like when I made a mistake with my pronunciation of a Spanish word, or I used the wrong verb. I'm still struggling with Spanish verbs, but they just didn't really care. They were very accommodating. They were very relaxed, and it's like, that's all right. And when you decided just to take it easy and, sit back and relax, there's no guilt for doing that. I mean, it's very relaxing to do that because you don't feel guilty about it. Even though we were on vacation, usually my vacations do include some relaxing time, but I also like to see all the sights. But when we went there, it's like it was just very relaxing. We just sat back. I mean, we were at this one Airbnb in the southern part of Costa Rica in a little town called Ojoko. Like I said, it was an expat community, and we had this beautiful, fairly new Airbnb, and it had a pool out back. It had a big covered patio out back, which was good because we did get there at the end of rainy season in October, late October, so they were just starting to get into their dry season. And this place was beautiful, and we got to watch the mountains, and we got to just sit back, which my wife didn't think I could ever do because I have to be on the go all the time. But most days when we were there, and we were there about 10 days in this location, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 of those days, we went out and did things. We went out and went to the beach. We went to the rainforest. We went to a few other places. But most of the time, we just sat there at our Airbnb out on the back patio and relaxed. We watched the birds. We watched the clouds come in over the mountains, which are right near us. We would go and listen to the waterfalls, the rushing river that was behind our place. It was just amazing how you can relax there. And that's just the atmosphere of the whole country. This attitude that you get when you're there. I mean, that's unheard of around here. I was always brought up in a different atmosphere where you actually felt guilty for resting, where you felt like you needed permission to take a rest, that you had to keep going. I don't know, that's something about the way I was brought up, but I also see it a lot in pretty much everybody in the U.S. Everyone has to be on the move. Everyone has to be trying to make something of themselves instead of just sitting back and being appreciative of what they have. Everyone always seems to want more. Now, Pura Vida. There are lessons to be learned, and 3 of the most important human lessons that you can learn from this lifestyle, from this mentality, this philosophy. The first one is, well, your worth is not tied to speed. Moving slowly doesn't mean you're falling behind. The nervous system needs safety, not urgency. Just being present is actually a form of success. So your worth, what you are worth, is not tied to how quickly you get things done, how quickly you move. Slowing down is not falling behind. So that's the first thing we can learn from this philosophy. The second thing is, life doesn't require constant control. Plans can change, and that's not failure. It's okay if plans change. You may have a plan set in your head for how your life will be, and it changes. That's okay. You didn't fail. I wanted to be an architect when I was younger. I started going to school for it, realized this is not me. I can't be sitting behind a desk. If you know me, can you imagine me sitting behind a desk all day, drawing plans for buildings, houses? I can't see it. I love art. I love drawing, but I can't see me not outside in nature. So I got out of that real quick. Did I feel like a failure? Partly, but no, I just took a different direction because that's what I needed. So plans can change, and that's okay. But we are so set a lot of times at gripping those outcomes, going and striving towards a certain outcome, but that's okay to go in a different direction. Let life unfold before you. Okay, let life take control. Let what happens happen. And if a moment's unfinished, that's okay too. So don't let life require a constant control. And the third lesson we can learn from this philosophy: joy can be ordinary. Happiness, it can be without milestones. We're always looking at, oh, I really need to get to that point to be happy. No, you don't. You just need to be happy. Be happy where you are. Be happy with the simple pleasures. A conversation with a friend. A hug from someone. When I was younger, I wasn't much of a hugger. But then I started working with a group of fellow naturalists. They ran an organization, Earth Spirit Education, and everyone in that group were huggers. Every time that I joined them to do an educational program, everyone in their group would greet me with a hug. And it's like, I started to realize, this feels good to connect to people in that way. And I started to become a hugger too. I mean, I don't hug everybody because I understand some people need their space and they don't like hugging. That's fine. I used to be like that, so I understand it. But people, my friends, I've got a lot of friends that as soon as we see each other, we hug. It's just such a wonderful thing, and that's okay. These are simple pleasures. Sunlight. Get outside and, I love it when I go outside with my wife and maybe it's a cool day and the sun starts shining, it pokes out, and the two of us get so excited. It's like, oh, this is wonderful. It makes us happy. Just this little bit of sunlight that we get. All these are really simple pleasures. These are the little joys that, they don't have to be earned. They just come at us. And this is what we need to enjoy. So joy can be ordinary. Happiness without milestones. So those are the three main lessons that we can get from this philosophy of Pura Vida. So what I'd like you to do today, and from this point forward, is to think about where in your life you can say Pura Vida, where you can get the pure life, not just as a statement, not just when you're walking up to someone and say, hey, Pura Vida. No, remember, it's a philosophy. I'm not asking you to get a new life. You just need a new way of meeting the one you already have. So keep the things in your life. Maybe it's something you've been gripping too tightly to. Maybe it's something in your life that, maybe you could soften the expectations on. Maybe it's a moment today that you could meet with more kindness. Something that is in your life that needs that Pura Vida attention, that Pura Vida philosophy, something where it's like you've been rushing into constantly. Think about how you can just kind of relax and just slowly move into that situation. Back it off a little bit. You don't have to rush into it. It'll get done. It doesn't have to be done this instant. Maybe it's something that has been in your life that you don't need anymore and you can get rid of, and that's fine. You can change something. Maybe today you find something that is bothering you and you just want to get angry about it. Try to think about, well, what is good about this? What can I be thankful for? Hey, maybe something bad happened. Think about how it could have been worse. We had a windstorm about 2 weeks ago, a really bad windstorm, heavy winds, and we came home from a few errands in the morning, and when we got home, I was looking, it's like, is that pine tree in the front yard leaning? It almost looks like it's leaning a little bit. And we went in the house thinking nothing of it. I went outside about 15 minutes later to get the mail out of the mailbox, and I look over, and here's this tree that I thought was leaning, which surely was. This time it was leaning right up against the house. It's laying on the roof of our house. Now I'm like, oh, this is not good. And so I went inside, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what do we do about this? Who do I call? And then it's like I just took a deep breath and thought, I'm thankful that all it's doing is resting on our roof. I'm thankful it didn't come crashing through our house. I'm thankful it didn't hurt me or my wife or our dogs. I'm thankful that it stopped. The universe was watching over us. It didn't harm or hurt anything. Once I got that attitude, I was much more calm about it. I figured I went out and looked at it closer, and I noticed, it really didn't do much damage. It did a little bit of scratches on our gutter and the roof, and I thought, well, that's all right. I don't want it. It was still really windy. I don't want it to go any further, so I calmly went inside, grabbed some heavy ropes, some tie-back straps, and I basically strapped that tree to another tree next to it, low to the base, so it didn't pull that second tree down. And I'm doing all this in heavy winds. It was miserable out there, but I was okay. And the reason is because I knew it wasn't that bad. Everything was fine, and I was grateful for that. I was grateful that I had the knowledge, the health, the strength to prevent it from getting any worse, to be able to strap it on. And later, I was thankful that I have a brother-in-law who does tree jobs. And I called him up, and he says, yeah, I can't get there today because I've got a tree across my driveway, but he says, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow first thing in the morning, and we'll get that tree off your roof. And everything was fine. No one got hurt. So this is what I'm talking about. Get that attitude. Something bad happens to you today. Stop. Take a deep breath and think, what can I be thankful for in this situation? And I'll bet you find something. It could always have been worse, whatever it is. And that thing you've been gripping on too tightly in your life, now's the time to take a deep breath, relax, and just let it go. Loosen up the tension on it. It's not worth worrying about. Is it worth making you sick? No, it's not. Pura Vida. So I want you to understand, even though this philosophy, the saying, Pura Vida, even though it comes from Costa Rica, it doesn't require Costa Rica. It lives in us. How we respond, how we wait, how we speak to others. So I encourage you to use this Pura Vida as a way to change your life. Not get a new one, but deal with the one you have in a new way by changing the way you deal with things. So wherever you are, may you meet your life today with a little less resistance and a little more Pura Vida. Thanks for spending this time with me and the forest today. If this moment brought you a little calm or clarity, feel free to carry it with you as you move back into your day. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and I'll meet you again among the trees. Hello, friends. I hope you're out wandering through nature, exploring the natural world around you. Do you enjoy writing about your wanderings? Nature journaling is an awesome, fun way to remember all the adventures you have taken and how you felt during those journeys. If you're looking for some beautiful journals to keep track of all your wanderings, I have several available on Amazon, including some guided journals for children. Start your journey in journaling by clicking on the link in the show notes. Keep exploring the nature around you and keep journaling all your wanderings. Hey there, fellow nature wanderers. If you're like me, you love spending time outdoors, breathing in that fresh air and connecting with the natural world. But at home, have you ever thought about what's in the products you use every single day? That's why I'm excited to share Apple Valley Natural Soap with you. Their handcrafted all-natural soaps are made with organic ingredients, essential oils, and no harsh chemicals. Awesome! So they're not only great for your skin, but they're safe for the planet. And they don't just stop at soap. Apple Valley Natural Soap also carries a full line of natural skincare products, including shampoos, body butters, facial bars, and more. All designed to nourish your skin without synthetic ingredients. You can't beat that. That's just awesome. Whether you're hiking in the woods or just winding down after a long day, their products bring a little bit of nature right into your home. And the best part? By supporting Apple Valley Natural Soap through the Nature Wanderer, you're also supporting this podcast. Just head to the show notes and click on the link for Apple Valley Natural Soap. So go ahead, treat yourself and the environment to something better. Your skin and Mother Nature will thank you. Now let's get on with our adventure.